All right, click the links for the alternative platforms, Odysee, Chute, the other YouTube, or support channel via Coffee, PayPal, or through crypto and the other sorts of things. And be sure to join the Discord. It's a good way to keep in touch as I get kicked off platforms. So do you want to, today in Clown World, do you want to live in a nanny, militarized police state where the police literally drive around in armored personnel carriers as if they're at war and drop bombs from drones? I'll just say it. Why not just de jure as well as de facto create high trust regions, like have checkpoints and border controls, like entire counties where it's only a high trust people. You can carry guns, you can protect yourself if you wish. We would have elected sheriffs, not police, and there's a difference. And local militias. The only military would be the border guards. It would just be people who demonstrate that they are high trust, good impulse control people of upstanding character. But I mean by law, like having control points, like that kind of thing. You have like daytime passes for everyone else. There wouldn't be any drive-bys or home invasions. No MS-13, Bloods, Crips, Latin Kings. No diversity is our strength. It would just be people who lived in peace. The rest of the nation could be a mixed, low-trust, diverse experiment if they like multiculturalism. They like graffiti and gangs and drive-bys. Hey, they can have it. Good for them. I mean, that's something that aligns with their values. But if you want to be able to go out jogging at night with literally the only fear you're fearing would be like bears, mountain lions, or coyotes, or maybe an off-leash dog, wouldn't you like to live in a nation like that, even if it's just a county? Like, sounds like paradise. Sounds like a 1955 paradise. I envision a group of people with large, extended families. People having kids young enough to know their great-grandparents. I did. Forming a nation, not this peak Weimar commercial zone run by bankers that America has turned into. All of which is literally alt-right Nazi hate speech these days. The funny thing is like... the ADO would declare what I just said to be hate speech. They go, oh, well, so you got different groups in America who literally want what I just said, different regions for them. Why can't we have it? Oh, because a bunch of globalist lawyers say we can't have it. So maybe the globalist lawyers are the problem. Too base for YouTube? I never know. YouTube is cracking down on all kinds of stuff, but you know, like every day it's like come back, I'm just waiting for the email from YouTube. Anyways, Canadian provincial government has granted themselves emergency powers. Well, you know, that allow them to seize personal property at will, all in the name of this current affairs. So under Orwellian new health orders, a Saskatchewan minister may authorize the entry into, gee, I bet you wish you had a Fourth and Fifth Amendment for the unlawful search and seizure, and then a little bit of due process before you did. I don't know the Canadian codes, if it's Napoleonic or common law, what they have, but they didn't include a Bill of Rights that has a First, Second, Fourth, Fifth Amendment. I'm not sure about their sixth. So no warrant needed. Now in America we have something called exigent circumstances, where if you're in hot pursuit of a dangerous felon, there are some circumstances that allow a warrantless pursuit. But Canada's not even making the attempt at that. This is just a massive power grab by any person in the course of implementing the emergency plan dealing with the fever. But it gets worse. I don't see how it could possibly get worse. They've also granted itself the power to cause the evacuation of persons and removal of persons of life or livestock, personal property from any area that is or may be affected by an emergency, make arrangements for the adequate care and protection. That sounds like happy camps. That sounds suspiciously like happy, because it probably is happy camps. So this emergency order was signed, Minister of Health. You know, any ministry, after reading... I'm reading 1984 now. I get started reading 1984 and A Brave New World simultaneously. This is not working out too well. So according to this minister, the new orders are needed to provide for health system labor mobility through greater flexibility in scheduling and redirecting healthcare workers to areas expedient. This sounds like you need a Bill of Rights. You need all these bills of rights backed up by a robust Second Amendment. you know, like they just keep clipping away at your rights. It's like, did you sign on to be just a debt slave living in a police state making bankers billions? Because I don't think that's what Canada and America is supposed to be. It's like we can take it back anytime we want, but we really, really have to want to take it back. We can do almost anything we want. We have the numbers. We need the willpower, and finding some magical leader. The way the tech media is set up, it's almost impossible for a leader to arise because they control social media almost entirely, mainstream media, of course. But then they have the SPLC, ADL, ACLU, and they have unlimited funds. When I say the ADL has unlimited funds, I mean they have as much money as they need to prosecute any interests they may have. So it's not so much that we're going to have some great speaker, Abraham Lincoln standing, I know you guys hate Abraham Lincoln, standing on top of a wooden box giving his speeches. It's that there's going to have to be a massively parallel movement. It might be some soccer mom who's just had enough. But she's smart and she's articulate and she's calm and she can form a cell of, people in her area who are following her on Twitter, and then she gets kicked off of Twitter and they go to Gab. And then you're going to have these massively parallel systems where you've got all these little cells with little, vague leaders, but it's like we're all kind of going in the same direction. So it's like you can always take one Martin Luther King down. All it takes is a guy with a scoped Liberty device. But if you got 100 of them, it's much more difficult. Though they will definitely try. But I'm trying to get these things to the point where there are so many militias scattered throughout Canada and the United States that you can't cancel everybody. Where it's like the numbers are on par. Well, eventually,